talk more than I want to play right now, but we will listen to a fairly long version of Hot House, which is really what is this thing called Love in bebop form. And that'll be the Miles Davis Group, recorded live in Carnegie Hall, and Christmas in 1949. And the remarkable thing about this is that the Miles Davis Group, they're all black musicians: Sonny Stitt, Bud Powell, Coley Russell, Max Roach, and who was on baritone, there was a white cat in there, Serge Chaloff. And we'll hear that. It's a Hot House in just a moment. But we've got to take time to, again, remind you that we are waiting, hopefully, for your phone calls. And we have just about 1 hour left in the program. And if you're sort of waiting until a more ostentatious time to call, now is the time. now is the time. We would love to hear you, and I think we did have a call there.
We did, Jack. I'd like to thank Bill for his $65 contribution. Also, Matt made a contribution for the Ileani Elias CD. And Jacqueline, I think we might have already. Jacqueline has already given twice. She called in an additional pledge because she wanted to pick up the Ella Fitzgerald Cole Porter songbook that we have been offering. That's available for your $100 contribution. If you've just tuned in, it's our spring fund drive here at 89.9. Jack Simpson and Jazz on the Beach is the program. We've got 1 hour left to reach our goal. We just surpassed the halfway mark towards our goal. So we're running short on time, but I know there's a lot of you out there listening, and you enjoy the music that Jack has been bringing you every single Saturday for the past 34 years. It is just a pleasure to have Jack here and all the great music he brings. So won't you show your appreciation by making your contribution? The phone lines are open at 407-823-6400.
Yes, I kind of get a kick out of when you say that. Been here for 34 years. Here I am now. I'm getting tired now. I'm dragging myself. Not at all. I love coming here. It's one of my great moments in life, coming here, and that's why I did it so long. I just did not want to leave, and I take every advantage I can, of course, every 6 months to come back and listen to the music that I love. I picked it out, But not only that, when I'm not here and I listen to the radio station, I say, hey, I like this, it's great. And now they're playing, I get kind of excited when I listen to the music that's being played on this radio station all the time. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's because of you. Because you, I'll say, the ones who've already called in, so far, it's because of you. It's because of people who called in earlier this week to keep this radio station going in the style in which it's accompanied to, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. We have people who maybe would like to change the way this station sounds. I don't know, but as long as we continue to do well, fundraising-wise, nobody's going to do anything about it. Everybody's happy with the way this station has gone. Everybody's happy with the sounds that the station creates. And there are other things that go on. They have live music here occasionally, and special thing. I listened to the thing the other day. The top 10 or something or another?
Jazz Most Wanted Friday night.
Makes it interesting. It does, and the way she does it. I like the way she sounds on the radio. Mm-hmm. And so there's some good things happening at this radio station, and so be a part of it. Call in and say, I want to be a part of it, and here's my donation.
407-823-6400. We've just got about 55 minutes left in the program. If you'd like to show your support for Jazz on the Beach and Jack Simpson, now's the time. This is the only Saturday we will be fundraising with Jack Simpson here. So don't miss your opportunity to show your appreciation for Jack and get your contribution in to support this public radio station. That's how it works. That's how public radio works. It's with the support of our community of listeners, people just like yourself and Bill and Matt and Jacqueline and John and all the folks that have been calling in so far. We still have a ways to go to reach our program goal by 3 o'clock. So your contribution right now will get us a little bit closer. So call now, 407-823-6400.
Okay, we're going to use up 7 minutes and 50 seconds of our valuable talking time. We're not. That's kind of silly to think of it that way, but it's kind of true. Anyway. By having you listen to, if you'd like to listen to, Miles Davis and his group with Sonny Stitt and Bud Powell on piano, and Serge Jaloff on baritone saxophone. Max Roach is on drums, by the way. They're playing a tune called Hot House. It was written by Tad Dameron, really based on the chord changes of What Is This Thing Called Love. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you'll take the time, 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Somebody, please, call in. Well, that was Miles Davis in his bebop period. It was about 10 years later when he would never play anything like that again. But of course, we wanted you to hear the baritone saxophone that came out of the Woody Herman band, and you did. And from a CD that has a lot of material on it. Serge Chaloff, the memorial CD, subtitled "We the People Bop." Well, I must say that We the People did not call, and while that was playing,
my goodness!
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we're stuck about. We're about $1,000 away from reaching our goal, and we've got 45 minutes left to do it. Your call will get us a little bit closer. So call with your 10 or your 20 or your 50 or your 100. It's totally up to you. We just want everyone to participate. If everybody out there listening right now would call in, we would raise that $1,000 easily. But some of you have already done that. So big thank you to those of you that have already done that. Many of you are evergreen donors, and Jack's you've heard us talk about that for many years, Jack. The evergreen donors donate a regular amount every month. So, and many of them are donating $5 a month, $10 a month, and it makes it really easy to make a nice annual donation, but in little bitty bite-sized amounts that don't really set you back too much. So we invite you, if you'd like to make an evergreen donation, It gets deducted from your credit card or your debit card on a monthly basis, and it allows you to make a donation. Maybe you want to make a $60 donation, but if you would rather it come out in $10 per month increments, that's a good way to do it. So call us up at 407-823-6400 and make a donation if you'd like to make it an evergreen donation. That's a good way to support your public radio station. But we just ask that everyone out there makes their support and their contribution now. Jack Simpson will be on his way back to the beach in about 45 minutes, and we'll have to say goodbye to Jack. And I don't want that to happen without us getting close to or reaching the goal. So call, make your pledge, keep jazz alive, 407-823-6400.
Yes, thank you, K.O., and I hope some people will be touched by your plea. I'll tell you how we're going to fill up this hour, if we have the time. And first of all, I would like you to hear the baritone saxophone of Lars Gullin. It's just one number, and it's "Lover Come Back to Me," and he plays it with a Swedish group, the Theselius group, the big band, actually. This will give you some idea as to the combination of a great instrumentalist with a great big band, how that can sound. And then we're going to go into great big band sounds with Stan Kenton for the rest of the time. So maybe that's the time you've been waiting for, to say, I like big bands better. And I say, okay, we'll do that. But let's hear Lars Gullin on baritone saxophone in Sweden with "Lover Come Back to Me." It is too good to pass up, too good to not play it. Lars Gullin on baritone saxophone was the orchestra in Stockholm, Sweden, and certainly worthwhile listening to, I would say. Great example of instrumental jazz on the big band. I'm Jack Simpson. You're listening to Jazz on the Beach. We're in the not just the last hour, we're in the last 45 minutes or something, maybe less than that. We don't have too much time left. We're going to fill it up with music by Stan Kenton. A tribute to Stan. I don't know why it's a tribute. I just thought, hey, they're doing a tribute at Vieira High School. They're doing a tribute to the Jazz Society, Space Coast Jazz Society. And it's a time I did as a matter of fact, I got a hold of a very fine CD. The Stan Kenton Collection, 1937 to 1947. And, of course, it shows the names of all the wonderful instrumentalists that included. Art Pepper, Anita O'Day, of course, that we'll hear, June Christie, Shirley Mann, Kai Winding, and so on and so forth. Stan Kenton, quite a guy. And we're going to hear a lot of him, and but we would love to have you take that time while Stan Kenton is on the air here and calling us at 407-823-6400. It's the last period of time that we'll have for Jazz on the Beach and for this fund drive, I think, for the radio station. And we need somebody to come in and save the day is what we need here. And otherwise, we just need you to pick up that phone if you haven't already done so and give us a call. Right now, our phone operators, I don't know what they're doing back there, but I know they have not been answering the phone, but apparently they found something to do, but they smile when I look back there. But
we've had a couple of phone calls. Your son Jeff called in, made his contribution.
Well, okay, great.
Yeah, and he says Eliani Elias played one of his compositions, and he was calling in and
how about that?
Making his donation. And thanks so much. It's nice to hear from you, Jeff. Also, Carlos made a donation, and Carlos wanted to receive that Eliani Elias CD that we're offering for a $60 contribution. Big thanks to Susan also. She's going to receive one of our WUCF coffee mugs. And Bertha called in her contribution. And
Okay.
We've had a lot of phone calls today, Jack. It's the issue is we place a lot of emphasis and trust in your listeners. And that's why you have such a hefty goal. We put a lot of the burden on your shoulders and your listeners here because you've had such good support over the years, and we know that many of you out there have been supporting over and over again over the years.
Yes,
I see some of the same names over and over. So we're asking that you do it one more time. If you've just tuned in, we're wrapping up our Spring Pledge Drive. This is the only opportunity you get to call in during Jazz on the Beach with Jack Simpson and make your contribution. So do it now. We're running short on time. Call 407-823-6400.
Right. Thank you, Kayon. And what we intend to do here, we cannot afford to just let the music play for the 30 or 40 minutes left without any interruption. We must continue, depending on how the phones get to not ring or ring. But we have quite a number of Stan Kenton recordings from his early days, beginning with Eager Beaver and following by, of course, Artistry and Rhythm. And then we will hear some of those interesting vocals by Anita O'Day and June Christie. So let's get started with Eager Beaver. That was a tune that I heard when I was in the Royal Air Force in an air base up in the northern part of England, but I was listening to the American Forces Network, and they came on with Stan Kenton and Eager Beaver. It'll be an experience for me to hear it again right now as I'm listening to your phone call. Wouldn't that be great?
would spend it on the girls, buy his mother gin and roses for her poor old headed curls. And when his wife said, hey now, what did you get for me? He socked her in the choppers. Such a sweet, sweet guy was he.
And her tears flowed like wine. Yes, her tears flowed like wine. She's a real sad tomato. She's a busted Valentine. Knows her mama told her that a man is darn kind.
How he loved the old race horses. He would bet them every day. One day he caught a winner, and the cabbage wasn't hay. He indulged in fancy spending, ordered rings, cars, and furs. But alas, alack, like a stab in the back, she found out they wasn't hers.
And her tears flowed like wine. As her tears flowed like wine. She's a real sad tomato. She's a busted Valentine. Knows her mama told her that a man is darn unkind.
He got mixed up with a Maisie. He got mixed up with a Flo. So Flo shoved him in the river. He'll not get mixed up no more. His wife then draped herself in black. That showed her figure fine. Then she cussed him out, the two-faced guy. No insurance could she find.
And her tears flowed like wine. Yes, her tears flowed like wine. She's a real sad tomato. She's a busted Valentine. Knows her mama told her that a man is darn unkind.
Yeah, Anita O'Day with the San Quentin Band in the early days. We got more to come. She's going to be singing, let's see, Special Delivery. Then we'll hear Tampico, Artistry Jumps, Painted Stuff, Painted Rhythm, Shoe Fly Ply, Intermission Riff. Yeah, do we have time? Well, let's hope we do, because
we're running out of time.
Yeah.
We've just got 23 minutes left.
Yeah, that's right. You know how much money we need to beat our goal?
I do.
I know you do. $700.
That's it.
$700 we need to make the goal.
That's it.
Not to beat the goal or anything like that, like it used to be.
Just to make it.
Let's get the old days and make it at least.
407-823-6400. That's the number of our pledge line. Just 23 minutes left in Jack Simpson Jazz on the Beach for this spring pledge drive. Your last opportunity to show your appreciation and show your love for Jack Simpson and the great program he brings you. So call now, 407-823-6400. Thank you to Patricia. Thank you to Bob. Thank you to Frederick and also Terrence. Those are our most recent callers and contributors. A couple of those guys picked up the Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh, good.
2 CDs Cole Porter Songbook. That's available for your $100 contribution. It's a great collection. We'd love to send it your way. So let us know who you are by calling in right now, 407-823-6400.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that Jeff called in and said that one of his compositions is being played by or sung by Eliane Elias. That's,
you'll have to call him up and find out more about that.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, he's a very, very active young man in the state of Georgia. Our son Jeff there. We haven't heard from Indiana yet, and it's time for Indiana to call in. And if it's time for you to call in, if you haven't called in, please. We need, quite a number of calls to get to reach that $700 goal, but we can do it. We're looking at each other saying, yeah, it's possible, Anything's possible. Great, we can do it. Sure we can. Maybe more Stan Kenton will do it. Let's go back to Anita O'Day. A special delivery. That would be your special delivery way of calling us right here. At in that 407 area code number, you know that one. It's your number, too. 823-1400, 6400, 40, whatever.
407-823-6400.
I just want to be sure we get it right.
That's it.
Yeah.
From my one man. Special delivery came from you. Special delivery apartment too. The doorbell rang. The postman sang a special delivery for you. I know you love me, that you say. You're thinking of me in every way. Darling, that's fine. I'll drop a line, special delivery for you. In and out state, I think you're great. I think you're too divine. In and out right, I pray every night that you will be mine all of the time. Don't fail tomorrow, worry me. I will be waiting anxiously. Good night, my dear. I'll wait to hear special delivery for you. I think you're too divine. In it all right, I pray every night that you will be mine all of the time. Don't fail tomorrow and worry me. I will be waiting anxiously. Good night, my dear. I'll wait to hear special delivery for you.
On the Gulf of Mexico, Tampico, down in Mexico.
You buy a beautiful shawl, a souvenir for Aunt Flo, authentic Mexican art, made in Idaho.
Tampico, on the Gulf of Mexico, Tampico, down in Mexico.
The senoritas, they wave when you arrive at the docks. The native costumes they wear are slacks and bobby socks.
Tampico, on the Gulf of Mexico, Tampico, down in Mexico.
You buy some pottery there to beat the luxury tax. You find that when you get home, they sell it cheaper at Saks.
Tampico, on the Gulf of Mexico, Tampico, down in Mexico.
to the boys. Hey, fellas, dig that square.
Tampico, Tampico, on the Gulf of Mexico. Tampico, Tampico, down in Mexico.
Down in Mexico.
Program support comes from the Heidelberg Restaurant and Heidi's Jazz Club at 7 North Orlando Avenue or A1A in downtown Cocoa Beach. Heidi's Jazz Club provides live jazz Wednesday through Sunday from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. You can find out who will be performing on the 89.9 events calendar or online at Heidi'sJazzClub.com.
Well, yeah, how about that? That was June Christie on Tampico there. And we got more coming up your way in the time that we have left for receiving phone calls or talking or listening to music. If you fall into one of those categories, meaning to call somebody on the telephone, please be us.
Yes.
Right.
Please be one of our donors right now.
Right.
What's that phone number? 407-823-6400. Jack, we're getting so close. Thanks to Stephen and James and another Stephen who just called in.
Okay.
We are, getting so close. We're inside of our program goal, about $600 away. We've got 14 minutes left to do it, and I know we can get there. For those of you that have just tuned in, we're raising funds to support this public radio station, Jazz on the Beach, coming your way for 34 years on this station, and Jack Simpson in here with a special effort today to entice you to support the station that brings you all this great music. So now it's your turn. Do your part. Give us a call and show your love for Jack Simpson by making your contribution. 407-823-6400.
Okay, we got Artistry Jumps coming up, Painted Rhythm, Shoe Fly Pie, if we have time, followed by Intermission Riff. So we have some good stuff. All Stan Kenton, all his early days, and we have a few $100 left to go to meet the goal. So how about doing Stan's turn here? Make it your turn on the phone and a phone number, and help us to meet that goal. It would be nice. It's very, very nice of me to drive over here. And I'd like to remind you, because my show is on the air every week, and I listen to it too. And but it's nice to be here. It's much more pleasant for me to be here if I possibly can do it. And I'm doing it. I'm in the age, I'm in the 90th. What am I now? I'll be 93 in September. And you can make it seem less than that by calling in the next few minutes.
Wow.
Or something. Everybody's laughing at that one. Don't laugh. Call me, please. Let's listen to, what are we listening to? Artistry Jumps. Right. Stan Kenton, and that was Painted Rhythm, and we're not going to have time to do much more, but we do have at least one more Stan Kenton number. And so if you have been inspired by listening to Stan of old, then please give us a call. If that didn't happen in your head, then give us a call anyway and say that you'd like to see this radio station succeed. And with your this spring fund drive, as we are in now, if you're a regular listener to WUCF, then you must have some feelings about it, I'm sure. And I'm sure the majority of people who do listen to it are regular listeners, and I'm sure that you have some strong feelings about this station. Please help us to have this station continue doing what we are doing presently. We all love it, and we hope that you do too. Please give us a call. Become a part of the family. Become a part where you can say to yourself, I did my bit. I did my bit to help keep that radio station going, and to not just going, but to playing the music that I love. So won't you please call us? 407-823-6400. It's a sincere call on my part. I'm Jack Simpson. I love this company. I love this radio station. I love this music. And I could love you too if you call.
All right. Almost time for us to say goodbye to Jack for another week. We are so thrilled that he's here with us and bringing you Jazz on the Beach, as always. And we are, oh my goodness, so close. $400 away from hitting our goal, Jack. So please call now, 407-823-6400. You want to go ahead and play this last Stan Kenton piece? We've barely got time to do it.
Right, yes. It's one of my favorites. It's Intermission Riff. And, if you'd like to listen, well, fine. But listen, if you can make the phone call while you're listening, all the better. And maybe we can meet. I would think that we should be able to meet that $400 for the goal. And that would make us all feel good here at the radio station if you can do it. 823... What am I saying? 823-6400. Of course, I'm going to let Kayon do it. She's been doing it beautifully all day.
407-823-6400. While you're listening to Stan Kenton, please call. Just a few minutes left in our program.
Well, Stan Kenton's intermission riff brings us to the end, but not before we say a few thank yous here. We just about, I don't know, Keona, are we still a couple of $100 away from...
Well, right now we are at just at 2,300, and we're trying to reach 2,500. So another couple $100 would put us up over the top. So if you haven't had the opportunity to call in and make your contribution for Jazz 89.9, and especially for Jazz on the Beach with Jack Simpson, do it now. 407-823-6400. It's been just a pleasure to have Jack Simpson and his lovely wife Lorraine in the studios with us here today. And it's been a pleasure to hear from all of your fine listeners, Jack.
Yes, my pleasure too, Keon. Thank you very much for all the nice things you said about me. I appreciate that. And I just appreciate being here. I just love it here. And I love, like I said, reading off some of these names like Mo. Hey, Mo, thanks very much for the call. I appreciate it very much. And Kristen and Mary, David, Stephen. I'm just reading off the list here, but I don't have time. And James and another Stephen. Thanks so much. And Patricia, I'm back into where we did give the names. And Bob, but with his $100 Ella Fitzgerald pledge, as was the case with James, too. And David. Yeah, and we certainly, that was a Kristen. Thank you so much, everybody. That Ella Fitzgerald celebration was certainly an effective one for us here today.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Ella Fitzgerald, the 100th anniversary of her birthday this month.
Great.
So thank you, everybody. Once again, the phone line, if you still would like to make your contribution, 407-823-6400. And we thank you.
And we thank the Simpson family once again. And to them and to everybody else, I'll simply say thanks so much. And as usual, cheerio.
WUCF FM, Orlando. It's the More Music Fun Drive on 89.9 Jazz and More. Pledge now at WUCF.org or call 407-823-6400.
$89.9 Jazz and More. And friends, we are in the final stretch of our spring More Music Fun Drive. Welcome to Saturday Jazz with Bob Kelly on this very eventful day. It was wonderful to have Jack in the studio live with us today, and we're still taking your pledges right now, 407-823-6400, or online at WUCF.org. We're going to catch our breath. They've passed the baton to Saturday Jazz with Bob Kelly for the final 4 hours. It's the last 4 hours that you can get your pledges in, from today's best new jazz to the classics. We're all about the jazz. We are commercial free. Only 2 times a year do we do this. And now with our More Music, Less Talk Fund Drive, during the drive itself, you hear more music and less talk. It's all about the music, not the talk. And if you love the music, don't forget, if you don't pledge, if the money doesn't come in, it could all end. And it could all end just like that. So let's not have that happen, all right? Let's keep 89.9 Jazz and More on the air and thriving as your full-time jazz outlet in Central Florida, all right? Love to hear from you this afternoon, and we'll be talking more about the wonderful premiums we have, the CD from Eliane Elias, and, of course, Ella Fitzgerald singing the Cole Porter Songbook. But right now, call us.